Hi, everybody. Welcome into this week's show here on JTV. We're having a great day. Want to know why?
Why is that? Why is that?
Well, because it's week 1 of high school football.
Yo!
And the game picks are back,
It's
baby.
back,
We are back. We get more hate mail than
Yes, we
any
do.
other segment of the
Yes,
show
we do.
because of this, except for last week.
Yeah.
Real quick here, before we get Max Fritz in here for the game picks, because we're going to have a guest picker each week, which I love that we're doing this now, by the way. So, Tigers, I don't even want to talk about them. They're horrible. I do not want to go to the ballpark even. The food is overpriced.
It's good, though.
The food is okay. The beer is cold. It's always hot when I go there, but the team sucks.
The nachos have pickles on them.
No, let's not do that. The seats are dirty.
The seats are dirty.
The cheerleaders are bad.
Oh, there's plenty of parking, though. There's
plenty
parking.
parking. I meant ugly bad, not
okay.
bad like that. Tigers are 62-70. They're 4.5 games back of the wild card. They did get a good win on Tuesday night, though. Max Clark with a home run, his first one at Comerica.
Yeah, which is awesome. Right now they're down. We're taping this at like 3:07, so not the conclusion of the game, but it is
another loss.
It is.
What do you know?
Yeah.
What do you know?
They're down 3-0.
Okay, so now they're going to be
bottom of the
62-71.
Yes.
7 back of the Central. This weekend, they're at home against the Dodgers. Skubal pitching Friday night at Comerica against Drew Anderson. Next week, Monday through Wednesday at Minnesota. And then they have 4 games in 3 days at Cleveland. A doubleheader on Friday this week. Or next week at Cleveland. So, anything else about the Tigers?
I don't want to.
Okay. When we come back, oh, by the way, thank you to the Insurance Circle Agency and their continued partnership. We're not getting kicked off the air for 2 more years, thanks to them, maybe. MyInsuranceCircle.com. Max Fritz, our first, should I say celebrity guest picker?
Sure, you can call
like
him a
College
celebrity.
Game Day?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Max Fritz, our guest picker for Week 1 and College Week 0 when we come back. Welcome back here on JTV. It is time for the return of the segment we get the most hate mail about.
That's true.
But it's also our favorite segment
is.
in show history.
I'm excited.
It is the game picks presented by Prate's Place in downtown Grass Lake. PratesPlace.com. That's the place to go to after the game.
Yeah.
Grass Lake's at home week 1, so you can go to Prate's Place right after.
You got to. That's the spot.
Yeah, they've got Cornhole League outside on Thursdays. They've got live music. You can sit outside, all the specials, get their new burger and beer combo, whatever, and Prate's Place in Grass Lake. So scan the QR code or go to PratesPlace.com. Each week this year, we're doing something new for the picks. Each week, we're going to have a guest picker join the show. So we just had Matt Kibbe on Monday. So
And he'll be back for picks at some point.
Oh, he will. He's not getting out of it.
That's right.
So that way we have the whole crew on, and I think it's his first time doing the picks. Max Fritz, our first guest picker for the year.
Thanks for having me on, David. I do have to say first, though, I'm very disappointed you had me for the first guest picker because week 1 is so hard to pick. I'm looking at all these, so I'm going to try not to shoot myself in the foot here and put the guest pickers as a whole, down early. I'm going to try my best, but it's kind of a crapshoot here.
There were quite a few games, so that I am going down the list. I'm like, I don't know. It's either two really good teams that are different this year or two teams that were bad last year that are playing each other. That's like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
Well, especially in high school football, every year is so different. I mean, college, you can somewhat keep consistency, but high school football, you lose 5 seniors, the whole program looks different. So it's so hard to tell from last year's record, too.
All right, shall we get started? Because we get a lot of high school games. Of course, week 1 is always non-conference, so there's always more games. So most teams are on Friday. We have some Thursday games. So let's do Thursday first for high school. Week 1, we have Perry at Addison. Both teams went 1-8 last year. Before last year, Addison made the playoffs 6 years in a row. Addison's got a brand new head coach this year, Casey Ruthenberg. He was an assistant for East Jackson last year, and now he's the head coach at Addison. Both teams struggled. Vandercook Lake beat Perry last year.
Yes.
Vandercook beat Addison, and now Addison's playing Perry. And then Vandercook's playing Perry again in week 9 this year. I am going to take our local team, and I am going to take Addison to start off 1-0.
Well, this was definitely a coin flip for me, a literal coin flip, and it landed on Perry. So I am going to go with Perry for no reason other than that's what the coin said.
Either one is not a bad pick. I don't know what both of these teams are going to be like going into this year because, again, Perry, just like Addison, went 1-8, and Addison's got a whole new coaching staff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that I have Addison for that. I originally was going to go with Perry when I was doing all my research, but some just told me, like, I just have more faith in Addison, I think. So I got to go with Addison here. But, man, to go with what everybody said here, it is a coin flip. It is so close.
All right, our second game, Melvindale AB&T, Melvindale Arts, Business, and Technology Academy. The Gators of Melvindale ABT coming to Brooklyn to take on Columbia Central. Columbia 5-4 last year. They just missed out on the playoffs. They won 4 in a row before they lost to Napoleon week 9, 40-36. Had Columbia would have beat Napoleon, they would have made the playoffs. Columbia the last couple of years have gotten a little bit better each year. So I think they got to get in the playoffs this year. And if all three of us don't take Columbia, I don't know if I'm going to make it out alive tomorrow because I'll be filming highlights there tomorrow against Melvindale. So if we don't pick them, I may not be back.
But the Gators, man, you can't go against the Gators.
Yeah, but we're in Michigan. It's the Gators. Melvindale, they're Division 8, but they went 9-1 last year and they made the playoffs. They lost to a really good Riverview Gabriel Richard team in the first round. But I can't get hated on already in the first week. So just for my sanity, I will take Columbia Central to start 1-0.
I'm also taking Columbia Central, and I'm actually going to go as far as saying I think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be at least a 30-point difference for Columbia Central. That's my one big guess of the day.
Okay. All right.
Starting off strong.
I also have Columbia Central. I think their schedule, physicality, all that stuff, it's going towards them. So I got to pick Columbia Central here in week 1.
All right, Vandercook Lake going up to in between Lansing and Flint. This is kind of a drive for them. They are at Langsburg in week 1. I really like what Vandercook did last year. 3-6, but you look at what's happened in the few years before that. I think Coach Dan Medina's done a fantastic job continuing to have this program evolve. I think them merging with JPEC for some sports is helping both schools' numbers out a lot. So I like what Coach Medina did last year and the year before that to continue to build this program. Because at one point, they were 8-man football. And we didn't know if they were going to survive an 8-man. And here they are back competing in the Cascades. So I will take the Jayhawks to start 1-0.
I'm also going with the Jayhawks. I definitely worry about that long drive, especially for week 1, making sure the boys are focused. But I also think the Jayhawks are going to take the win.
Man, this one was not as easy as I thought it was going to be. I have Vandercook, but I have no faith in it. I have no faith in it at all. But
I appreciate your honesty.
I'm going to be honest with it.
That's what we're here for on the show.
I'm going to be honest with it, yeah. I could have gone either way. This could have been like an Addison Perry situation where I was kind of just like you said, coin flip. I kind of feel the same way with this one. But I got to go. I just moved to Vandercook. I can't pick against Vandercook week 1. That was my decision, so I'm sticking to it.
They will burn your house down.
Yeah, I'm way too close to the school. So, so I'm taking Vandercook here, hoping they can start the season right.
All right, Michigan Center at Onstead. Of course, Michigan Center, historic year last year, making the regional final after 2 years before that in 2021, making the semifinal. Onstead made the playoffs at 4-5. We've talked about how the playoff point system is terrible. Onstead had no business being in the playoffs at 4-5, but they did. But guess what? They had to play at Lumen Christi in the first round, and they got manhandled horribly. So they host Michigan Center. Onstead's got a new coach, Joe Gills. He was the Addison defensive coordinator last year. Both Michigan Center and Onstead lost a lot. They have a lot of new faces coming into this year. Both teams do. This is interesting. I went back and forth on this game. I really had a hard time.
I was pretty set on who I have.
I am set on who I have. I will take the Wildcats of Onstead at home against Michigan Center.
I did not expect that at all.
The hate mail will be flowing, David.
Yeah.
We're at Michigan Center week 2 live, by the way. Troy watches the show,
I know.
too.
The problem is, since we're live at Michigan Center and I will be down on the field within throwable range of items, I think I do.
Yeah, but you're the ones who usually throw things.
Exactly, but I probably would have it coming to me either way. I get a liquid death in the back of the skull if I chose against the Cardinals. Also, I'm going to make the bold claim that even though they lost a lot, I think Michigan Center will go back-to-back with the regional champs. Even though they've lost a lot, it'll be tough for them, but I think Troy Allen has an amazing coaching style, and I think he will be very good at directing the Cardinals back in that direction. So Michigan Center definitely gets the win over Onstead.
The way I looked at this game was because they are both, obviously Michigan Center's coming off of a way better year. They both have lost a lot of players. So it's what program do I have more faith in? And that's easily Michigan Center. I have more faith in their program.
And I don't disagree with that also because of the conference that Onstead is in, being in the LCA with Hudson and their Hudson. Ida, who played Lumen in the regional final, and Clinton, who's solid too. I think they made the district final regional too. So you have 3 really good playoff teams in just their conference.
Oh, for sure. And Michigan Center, what would they were 8-0 after beating Napoleon last year.
Yep.
They had a crazy good start. So I think they kind of put everything together, even with adding new faces. So I'm going to take the Cardinals here.
All right, Manchester at Sand Creek. Manchester, Josh Lindemann in his 3rd year at the helm for the Dutch. They've made the playoffs 6 of the last 7 seasons at Manchester, including 4 in a row. Different, a little bit of a new look for Manchester this year. I think they're still going to run the T because that's what Coach Lindemann has always done, no matter where he's at. But he will be throwing the ball, I think, a little bit more this year. He's got a quarterback competition, if you can believe that, with a full house T offense. Easy pick, no doubt, Manchester.
Same here. Wasn't much for this decision. Manchester all the way.
Yeah, you talked about your not big upset, but big blowout earlier. That's what I think this one is going to be.
Okay.
If there's any big blowout, I think it's this game.
I think it's this game. When you look at Manchester, didn't they beat Grass Lake like 30-6 this past season?
Yes. But also Grass Lake dropped off a lot last year.
For sure, but I think Grass Lake's better than Sand Creek.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
So, with that being said, I obviously got to take Manchester here. No offense to Sand Creek, but I think if there's going to be a blowout, like I said, this is going to be the one.
And in 8-man action, our last Thursday game, Climax Scots at Concord. Climax Scots, not that far of a drive from Kalamazoo, Battle Creek area. Give me Max Clark and the Yellow Jackets.
I cannot physically pick against Max Clark. I will always be a Max Clark fan, so give me Concord all the way.
It's funny.
Oh, no.
No. This game is close. This game, I think this game ends close. I think it does. I think the score is close, but I think Concord, you just can't stop them from putting up points. That's, I think, what's going to.
Well, and that's also the biggest difference with 8-man. Look at a lot of Concord scores last year, 50, 60 points. I think they had one game they scored almost 70.
Right, and that's why I think with it specifically, you can get away with that, in normal football. But when it's 8-man, to me, it's like it's all about who can score the most points the quickest, and that's going to be Concord. So I got to go with Concord. But this has a chance of being a close matchup, high scoring and close.
I agree.
All right, let's go to our Friday games. We have a Big 8 battle. East Jackson now in the Big 8 conference. This shocked everybody at first when they announced they were leaving the Cascades. East Jackson was one of the founding members of the Cascades from 1954.
Wow.
And now they're in the Big 8 with Homer going back to the Big 8 as well, swapping for Stockbridge and Hillsdale next year. East Jackson hosting Reading. Reading did not have as good of a year last year as they historically are usually exceptional. East Jackson has struggled the last few years, 0-9 last year, but they played mostly a JV schedule. First-year head coach Josh Kubiak. I will take Reading. This was a coin flip, but I'll take Reading.
For me, I think it's going to be much not as close as you're thinking with a coin flip. I think Reading is going to kind of walk the floor with East Jackson for this first one, only because East Jackson is coming off such a hard year with the new coach, new program, really trying to get it all gelled together. This is going to be an eye-opening, wide-awakening first game. I don't think they're going to be ready for it, so I think Reading is going to easily take the win, and I hope East Jackson has a good year for this year. I'm rooting for them, but I think it's going to be a struggle.
I agree with Max. East Jackson had a tough time last year. They were 0-4. They didn't play a lot of games. I have to go with Reading here. It's just, again, like the program that had more time to work. It has guys with more experience. So I have to go with Reading. I don't know. I think it's probably going to be like a 2 to 3 score game in my eyes.
All right, a good Big 8 matchup. Bronson at Springport.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
So, Springport obviously had their best year ever last year. Head coach Ben Pack is arguably my favorite coach in high school ever.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic dude. He's a great leader for young men. He did a fantastic job at Manchester before coming to Springport. Last year, Springport made it all the way to the regional final, lost to a very, very good Hudson team who ended up making the state final in Division 8. Now, Springport, much different this year. New quarterback. They've got a couple new receivers. They've got some new linemen. Almost everything is new for Springport, including a new look offense. They are not going back to a spread throwing the ball around this year. They are going to more of a wing and a T style, which, you know, I like running the football.
I know you do. I know who you were picking.
But
Whoa! He did it to me. He did it to me.
Coming into this year, I think Bronson is the favorite in the Big 8. They had 8 wins last year, including a junior going into his junior year for Bronson. Junior Kyle Heiska, 6'4", 270, and has an offer to play football at Harvard, Ivy League. And Bronson being the league favorite. These two played last year. Springport only won 7-0.
Wow.
I am taking Bronson on the road at Springport.
See, after hearing that, I really want to switch my pick. But
you still can. That's okay.
I'm going to stick with my gut because my main reasoning with this, because this was another close coin flip one, I think the home field advantage that Springport's going to have is going to help them with that edge. I definitely think it's going to be a one-score game, if anything, even a 3-point game, or if it comes down to a safety even. It's going to be probably one of the closest, most competitive games this first week, which, you know, saying a lot, may not be, but at least out of the ones we're looking at right now, I think Springport will be extremely close, but they're going to win.
Yeah, this is my top 3 for best matchups this week. I think this is
I like that.
This is a tough start for Springport with everything that you described going on, changing up the offense, new players, all that stuff. This is a tough week 1 start, but our boy Ben Pack, 17-3 career record for Springport, head coach. I'm going to go with Springport. Mm-hmm. This is a one-score game. Like you said, Max, this is going to come down to the very end. I think it's a one-score game. It could go either way. I totally agree with what you're saying about Bronson, but I can't not pick Springport here. Mm-hmm. So if that means I get an L on this, then I get an L on this, but I'm taking Springport and hope that they can get the win.
All right. This really hasn't been a rivalry, I'm just going to say it, the last 7-8 years. Leslie at Stockbridge. This is the oldest continuous rivalry in the state of Michigan. I got called out. I won't say who, it was a viewer. In our season preview articles, I put it was the longest running rivalry in the state of Michigan, which it is, but it's the longest continuous, you know, specifics, whatever. Anyways, Leslie at Stockbridge. Leslie has won this game 7 years in a row. They always play each other week 1. This hasn't been a rivalry recently. Leslie's won it 7 in a row. Obviously, we know the story with Leslie last year. They have fantastic players, great quarterback, and a great head coach. They started off 4-0. That week 5 loss, heartbreak against Michigan Center. Season went down from that. Hobbled into the playoffs, got bounced bad in the first round. But Leslie's got everybody back. Give me Leslie and Coach McCann. Big win week 1.
Leslie by 1,000.
I like that.
And
comeback season for Leslie.
Definitely, you know, and led by Joel Cranmore, who's just one of the most amazing quarterbacks in our area. And
yes.
Quick, you know, shout out to to my show on Varsity Voices that Adam helps me.
Yeah.
I actually went head to head against Joel Cranmore in a throwing competition. Not going to spoil it, but it was closer than I thought it would be. I will just say that.
Really?
So, which surprised me. But
he's a college football quarterback.
I know.
The man had 46 touchdowns as a sophomore.
We had the pressure on him.
He did. So
Okay.
I think he's going to rebound from that, and he is going to fully take it out on Stockbridge. So Leslie by 1,000.
Yeah, obviously I was going to take Leslie before that. Their 5-5 record last year is not reflecting on what they are as a team.
Correct.
And we talked about that with Doug Donnelly as well, about that. It was that Cranmore injury, and then everything kind of fell out after that. Filming the show, being able to spend some time with them, they are extremely confident. I think that they're expecting to make it to the championship game at the end. So I'm going to take Leslie here. I don't think this will be necessarily close. And I think this is the Michigan, Minnesota of this area, right? Like, you know, you go in every year and it's assumed Michigan's going to beat Minnesota. It's kind of the same here.
He had a great head coach, Tim McCann. He's fantastic. Obviously, Joel Cranmore's a college quarterback, Braden Johnson at wide receiver, and then Jackson Fawcett, the big tight end, big lefty pitcher who's committed to Kentucky for baseball, SEC ball. So, all taking Leslie then, right?
Yep, everyone taking Leslie.
All right, back to the Big 8. Homer rejoining the Big 8 after 2 years in the Cascades. Homer at Union City, Union City.
Yeah, I mean, especially after that horrible tornado that happened last year in Union City, they have so much that they are fighting for and
opening
are going to
the
be
year
driven for.
at home.
Yeah, they are going to come out guns blazing. I'm taking Union City.
We talked about how good, just not that long ago, how good Springport was last year. And I looked this up today. Union City lost them 35-34 last year.
Yeah, Union City had a big lead in that game. Springport came back late.
And I remember when it happened, us talking about how impressed we were with Union City, almost getting that win. So with that, I got to take Union City here. I think, again, another one of the teams, 5-5 last year. They're a lot better than that record suggests. Maybe not to the effect that of what we're saying about Leslie, but I like Union City. I think they have a bounce back year this year. I think they'll be better than 500.
All right, Adrian Madison at Grass Lake. Grass Lake, an odd year for them. Atypical of them. 2-7, but they had a whole new playbook on offense. They went more triple option instead of the spread. They had a new quarterback. They had some new backs, couple of new linemen. Everything was new for Grass Lake last year. But they have most of those guys returning. Of course, one of my favorites, my guy Randy Cole at the helm of Grass Lake going into year 27, I believe, for him. So he's been fantastic. He is obviously exceptional with this program. I expect them to have a bounce back here. They got to win a few more games. And Adrian Madison, they play a tough schedule. They play the Clinton and Hudson and Ida. So they play better competition than Grass Lake does. This was hard because, you know, I'm obviously I went to Grass Lake.
I was waiting for this. I
didn't know that, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually went somewhere else.
Yeah.
No, of course, I'm from Grass Lake, but I'm also part Lenawee County, too. That's what Noah said earlier. It's the part Lenawee and me, too, you know, partially living in Adrian.
I see yourself distancing further and further away from Grass Lake here.
So, I am going to take The Warriors of Grass Lake. I can't go against them.
Shocker.
Actually, I'm considering this an upset if Grass Lake wins.
No, I totally agree with that.
So, upset, go Warriors.
Because, like you mentioned, Adrian Madison plays a very tough schedule. Grass Lake is not one of those tough games. I think Adrian Madison is going to walk over the Warriors. Warriors may have another tough start to the year, so I'm going to go Adrian Madison.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to say. Like, if they're going to get some wins, they have to beat a team like Grass Lake to get those wins. Not saying that Grass Lake isn't going to have a better year. I truly think they are going to have a better year than they did last year. I mean, 2-7, you hope it's going to be better.
And one of them was a forfeit.
Right.
Yeah.
So you hope that it's going to be
and
better.
And the other win was Addison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I have here is, Adrian Madison, they put 53 points on Onstead last season. They can score some points.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, even though Grass Lake's home, right?
Yeah.
Even with Grass Lake at home, which I think makes it a little bit closer, I have to go with Adrian Madison in this.
The student section will be rocking at Grass
They
Lake.
will.
Everybody's going to be having a good time. But I'm the only one who took Grass Lake.
You are. I will give them this, though. Best walkout of any school in this area is Grass Lake. So I will give them that.
Yes.
It is pretty sick. If you haven't seen it, you must see it.
All right. I know Western Jackson is going to be a really good game. That's our live
That's my
game
number
of the
two.
week.
That's my number 2 of the week.
But that is also my number 2, my personal game of the week. This next one is by far
This is going to be a battle.
my game of the week. Hudson at Hanover Horton. A lot of media will be there too. We'll have an article from that game. Thank you, Trey, and we'll have photos from that game as well. Hudson at Hanover. Hanover, obviously, coming off their best year ever, making the regional final in Division 7, only losing to Schoolcraft by 1 touchdown. Schoolcraft ended up making the state final in Division 7. And then Hudson beating Springport in the regional final, and they made the state final in Division 8. Hudson is Hudson. We know they're always phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's bodies buried underneath their stadium in Hudson. Not even joking. Look it up.
Are you serious?
Yes. This is close.
This
This really
close.
is. Hudson is straight T formation. Hanover's more of a wing, like a wishbone offense. Both teams obviously run the ball really well. Hanover's head coach, David Messer, is a graduate of Hudson and played for Hudson.
A little bit of a revenge game, it sounds like.
As much as I want to pick Hanover, Hudson is Hudson, so I am taking the Tigers.
Yeah, it's funny. That actually reminded me, Dave, when you're talking about David Messer being from Hudson and having that rivalry. I remember talking to him last year in a game we covered live, and he knows that the boys know, too, that this is the game for Coach. They want to win it for Coach. That's the one selfish game of the year because it means so much to him.
Not just because it's his school, but because, again, Hudson is Hudson.
Hudson,
yeah.
And Hudson, we talked with Ben Pack at Media Day about that game, and he made a good point. Ben Pack said that Hudson is, just like Lumen Christi, a divisionless program. Hudson can compete in Division 7, maybe even 6, depending on the year. Hudson can play with anybody.
So with that, though, I love Coach for Hanover Horton, but I feel like Hudson is just still too strong. I feel like maybe next year he'll finally get that win against him, but I think Hudson's going to win this year.
Yeah, I just think it's hard to pick against Hudson. I love Hanover Horton, and I think they're going to be great this year. 9-3 last year. Hudson obviously had that one loss at the very, very end of their run. They were dominant all the way until that championship game. But I gotta pick Hudson here, even though this is the matchup on the schedule for Hanover Horton, where it's like this is our biggest test, and it's week 1 to show that we can hang with them. I think Hudson's going to narrowly get this win. I think, again, we talked about this being the game of the week. This is my game of the week as well. So give me Hudson. I can't ever pick against Tigers.
Yeah.
Any team that's Tigers. I just can't do it.
Except for the Detroit Tigers.
No.
They don't deserve a pick.
No, how dare you? How dare you? But yeah, I got Hudson here.
So Hudson, they started 13-0 and lost in the state championship. Last year as a sophomore, Hudson running back Beckett Campbell, he set the Lenawee County single-season rushing record all time and made the all-state team as a sophomore. 37 touchdowns And I'm trying to find how many yards he had here. It was on here. It was over 2,100 yards and 37 touchdowns as a sophomore. And he's back for 2 more years. So expect to hear his name a lot this Friday against Hanover. This next one's an easy pick for me. Jonesville-Hillsdale, the battle for the jug, the rivalry. Hillsdale went 1-8 last year. They were winless the year before that. Hillsdale's win last year was in week 9. So at least, they ended the year strong.
Hey, we were rooting for them. We were rooting for them to get one win.
Hillsdale, unfortunately for them, at least for one more year, they're in the LCAA with Clinton and Ida and Hudson.
Yeah.
This is easy for me. Jonesville, solid year, as always. Jonesville.
This is my big upset for the whole thing.
Whoa.
I think that Hillsdale is going to pull off the upset. They're going to take the jug. They ended on a high. They're going to continue on a high. Probably not win any more games of the year, but they are going to go on this one, take the win. David's jaw's on the floor. When Hillsdale wins, come back and clip this moment.
Oh, my eyes are watering too.
We'll be clipping this moment.
This is my call.
Yeah, please
Hillsdale is going to win.
Put that on our board too, please.
Yeah,
Just a
put it on
soundbite
the board
next week.
Oh my. Okay, so earlier when we were going through picks, I forgot what game it was, but I said it was going to be the biggest not biggest upset, but I scared David for a second there. Not the biggest upset, but the biggest blowout.
Yeah.
And to go the complete opposite of what Max just did, I forgot about this game. This game is going to be the biggest blowout.
Yeah, for Hillsdale.
For Jonesville. I'm just going to say right now, Jonesville 31, Hillsdale 7 is going to be my prediction score for this game. I got Jonesville. That's it. I'm not going to say it's going to be crazy. I think a lot of these are going to be close matchups, But bless you, by the way.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I think a lot of these are going to be close matchups, but this one's going to be the furthest from that that we have.
No, it's just my eyes started hurting when my jaw dropped.
I could see.
Oh. All right, move on from that. Montague at Napoleon. Napoleon, another fantastic year, making the playoffs, winning a playoff game. Lost to the 4-time defending state champ, Lumen Christi. You can't really compete with that when they're on the roll.
I was at that game. They had that first drive where Napoleon looked pretty nice, that first drive. They had a turnover, and it was downhill from there. Because for a little bit, I was thinking, like, ooh, this might be interesting. But, Napoleon still had a great year.
Yeah.
Napoleon hosting Montague. Now, if you remember Montague, maybe more for Lumen Christi fans, they played Montague a couple of times in the state finals or in a semi. They beat Montague in the 2018 state final, the Titans did. Montague, they had a down year last year, but to me, I'm still going to take Montague at Napoleon. Really? Because Montague, I think, plays better competition, being on the west side of the state, the Muskegon, Grand Rapids area. That area, besides Detroit, is unmatched in football in Michigan. So I'm taking Montague to come all the way down to Napoleon and get the win.
Hot take, Montague's band is better than the football team. And I say that because I had a friend who used to go to Montague. She was in the band. I went to a lot of their band competitions.
Oh, you have a connection with Montague. I have a connection with Montague. This is lovely.
So, shout out Lena. But I love Montague's band. Haven't been
Lena, that's her name?
Yep.
I also know somebody named Lena.
Oh.
Anyways.
Interesting, mainly I say that, too, because, no hate to Montague. I just know I love their band. But you can't beat the wing T formation. Coach Derek Shell with Napoleon. I think it's just going to be too much for him. Wing T all the way. Napoleon's taking the win.
Adam's trying to keep it together over there.
I'm just like, I don't see...
Is it because I said I also know somebody named Lena?
No,
is that what threw you off?
It's because you guys each... It's because you guys each have... You have Montague, right?
No, I have Napoleon.
You have Napoleon.
And I have
He's
Montague.
got Montague.
And you have Montague. That's what it was. I just thought this was funny. I originally had Montague. I crossed it off on my list. I put Napoleon on my list.
Thank you. You're sensible.
So... My thought is, I originally thought Montague was going to win this easily. I think that if Napoleon, you guys are just losing it over there.
I'm sorry.
Napoleon, I think, and now you guys aren't even listening to my selection here.
Keep going.
I think Napoleon's going to control the clock. I think that's going to be, and every year we talk about, can Napoleon control the clock? and win this game. I think this is one that they can. I do agree, though. Montague is a way tougher matchup than what they've faced or could face for most of the season. But I think Napoleon's going to get the win. But close matchup. Yep. But if they can control the clock, for sure they're going to get the win.
All right, this game is at 4 o'clock on Friday. It's an early game. Lumen Christi going down 94 to Detroit to take on Detroit Edison. Edison, always solid. They're also in Division 6, so if they make a run, they may each play each other again in the postseason, maybe. Lumen, 4-time defending state champ. They got most everybody back. Easy pick, Lumen.
You know, I'm shocked this is not a night game, seeing as Edison has the lights. Okay.
What?
It's at 4 o'clock.
It's 4 o'clock.
I know. I joked. I said I'm shocked it's not a night game. So I know Edison has the lights. Okay. I'll let it go.
My
Yeah,
God.
wow.
It
Max.
took me a minute.
Max.
Oh, my
Way
God.
over their heads.
Max, that
Just
was
continue.
terrible.
All right. Lumen by 1,000. All right.
Oh my
Good
goodness,
God.
that was so bad.
I know. Hopefully some viewers got it at home. You guys were in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm sorry.
All right. I thought he was gonna hope that we'd invite him back, and it's not looking good right now.
We're not.
No.
I'm doing this specifically to burn a trail so I don't get invited.
I can tell. I can tell.
Hey, this is for having me on week 1. That's all I got, guys.
Yeah,
I don't have much to go off
Unless
of here.
if you do really well, then we may have you back on.
Yeah.
Well, hey, if Hillsdale wins, then you have to. So just saying.
You know what? I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet. This is easy. Lumen's program is the best program I've ever seen. So I have to take Lumen. Not an easy first matchup either for them. But again, greatest football program in the state of Michigan. I'm going with Lumen here.
This one is interesting, not because of the opponent or the game itself, but just a headline from this game. Kalamazoo Loy Norix
Yes, I was
at
going to mention
Northwest. Now, we're doing this now that we're back to 2 week. Today's Wednesday. Tuesday night, it was announced. 3 days before the season, due to health issues, the Loy Norix head coach is stepping away the week of the season starting.
It's tough.
Loy Norix at Northwest. Northwest beat them in Kalamazoo week 1 last year. I think this is the year. The last couple years has been slightly better for Northwest compared to years past. I like Stafford Newsome, but he's got to get his team into the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
2 years ago, they took a big step thinking, okay, going into last year, they make the playoffs. They dropped a few games that they shouldn't have, and they didn't make the playoffs. Northwest has got to get in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
So, and it starts with this week 1 non-conference. I am taking the Mounties, and also in honor of our friend Josh Brigette, it's his first week not being with us on Friday. So we miss you, Josh. Go Mounties.
You know, I mean, just like
You're not allowed to pick Loy Norix in this game. I hope you know that.
And let's see what he does.
Well, but no. So this, David, like you are so much for Grass Lake because you have a history with Grass Lake. I have a very big connection to Northwest. My wife teaches there. Stafford Newsome is a very good family friend. So I have to go Northwest Mounties. I would go with them even if they were going against Lumen. So I've got to go. Yeah, I've got to go Mounties. I feel like this year is going to be a year, like you mentioned, they can actually feasibly get into the playoffs and actually compete. Definitely Loy Norix with the weird news about their coach with undisclosed health reasons having to drop out this close to the season is going to take a toll on the players. I definitely think Northwest is going to win by multiple touchdowns in this game and have a great year. Go Mounties.
So
we are Northwest.
Go Mounties.
So to get back to what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So Loy Norix, I think, both teams are 3-6 last year. I'll start off with that. Both teams are 3-6. I think that Loy Norix is going to be playing for a little bit more with with what happened with their coach. So I think they're going to be playing pretty hard. I think Northwest knows they got to win this game, and they got to try to get a victory here early on. They have to prove that they belong here. The tough thing with Northwest is, out of all these teams, they are the toughest team to project for me. I don't know where they're going to be. We've had some pretty decent
agree with
years.
that.
Yeah.
We've had some pretty decent years like last year, and then we've had some, I guess it wasn't like amazing, but they had some wins last year, and they've had a real rough patch for a while. I think they're a lot better this year. I will go with them, but I think this could be close. I would not be shocked if Lloyd Norris gets the win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just saying like, oh, they're going to get blown out or anything like that. Like, I think Lloyd Norris has a shot to win this game, but I got to go with the Mounties. Shout out Josh Brigette. Got to do it.
All right. Our last high school game here.
Yes.
What a game we have live on JTV. Tony Dungy Field, Jackson High School. The Panthers of Western coming down Michigan Ave from Parma to take on the Vikings of Jackson. Live at 6:45 on JTV and online at jtv.tv. Last year, it was 27-20 Western at their place. Last play, it's what it came down to. The last play actually happened twice, if you guys remember, because of a penalty.
Yes. Yep.
An interception, but then a penalty. And then the last time they played before that, first round of the playoffs at J-High 2022, Jackson walked it off on a QB sneak to win in the first round, 26-25. You know, all time, the series is 2-2. They've only played 4 times.
This is the big one. This is the best of 5.
It's for the city. They're 2-2 all time. Came down to the last play last year. I'll let you two go first before I make my
Okay,
pick.
I like that.
All
I like
right.
that. Max, go ahead.
Okay, no pressure. No, I definitely think it's going to be close. Like you guys said, this is the top 3, obviously going to be extremely close.
So
Came down to the last place.
Yeah.
I think it definitely will come down to the last play again. What I see is Coach Cody Bentley has been amazing in transferring this program. His own personal journey and the hardships he's went through, he's really instilled that, and his team has bought into it as well. And I think Western is going to be hard to beat this year. Jackson is solid every year, but they always seem to struggle against Western. I feel like that's almost like their Achilles heel. So I'm going to take Western. Very close game. They're going to come in. The new light system's not going to bother them, and they are going to win against Jackson.
You asked me this, so we found out we were going to be doing this game like a couple months ago. I think we kind of figured out this was going to happen. You asked me then who I thought was going to win. I said Jackson. Then a couple weeks later, you asked me again, and I said, I think Western's going to win. And then a few weeks later, you asked me, and I was like, I think Jackson's going to win. Now I think Western's going to win. I don't know why I've been so flip-floppy on this, but I think this is the coin flip of all coin flips for all of our games here. I can see a scenario where both teams win. Yeah. I think Western really wants to come into this game and play spoiler. Mm-hmm. And they also want to avenge what happened last year in terms of their overall season. Yeah. They barely beat Jackson. Jackson did not have a great year. They didn't have a great year. Both teams have a lot to prove. But I think, and normally you would take the home team, but I think with Western going into enemy territory, wanting to play spoiler, especially if they start the game with a good drive, score a touchdown, get a stop, make some noise, I think they are going to feel that momentum and going to ride that even with them being on the road. And I think a lot of Western fans are going to show up for this game. So I think it will
it's going to be a packed house.
Yes,
definitely.
It will be loud for Western. Obviously not as much as Jackson, but it will be loud for Western. I will take Western here. I would love to take Jackson in week 1. I usually do, but I can't do it here. I think Western... I'll say 27-20. I think we have a really good game.
Same score as last year.
Yes.
27-20 again?
I think we'll have it again.
All right.
I think we're going to see it happen. So
you took Western.
We both have Western.
Both have Western.
So you both have Western.
Do it.
Man.
You want to do it? You got to do it.
You jinx them if you go all 3.
You got to do it.
So.
Exactly. If we're going to college game day this, you're going to jinx Jackson with this pick.
So. Both teams went 2-7 last year.
Yep.
Western only beat Jackson by 1 score. Western barely beat Northwest. Still 2 good wins to have for the local rivalry. But Jackson went 2-7. Man, Jackson had a couple of injuries and just couldn't keep things together down the stretch at the end of last year. And their conference is tough because the SEC White, Chelsea's won the conference 4 years in a row. I'm picking them 5 in a row. And then Adrian is for sure second in that conference. And then it's everybody else. I like Coach Bentley. I think he's done great as the defensive coordinator and still getting his feet underneath him last year because he had a new quarterback and a lot of new faces. I'm going to sweep the board. I am taking Western
Wow.
to come to Jackson High and beat the Vikings.
I love it.
3 for 3 Western. All right, real quick, because we've been going long here. We've got 4 college games. Week 0, North Carolina, TCU in Ireland at noon. TCU -7.5. Give me the Horned Frogs, even though I do not like frogs.
Bill Belichick has ruined North Carolina's program for years to come.
For sure.
They're going to finish, luckily, to get one
And
win
his
this year.
18-year-old smoking
yeah.
hot girlfriend isn't helping matters either.
You know, because the smoking hot girlfriend, North Carolina. No, I'm kidding. I think
Go Tar Heels!
TCU should be -20 on this. TCU's winning.
Yeah, I don't think this will be really necessarily that close. I think that spread's being very generous, like you said, Max. I got TCU winning this game. UNC is 99th in EPA per play. They just cannot. They just can't score.
EPA?
Yeah, expected points, like scored or something like that per play. They just don't have the big plays that you would hope to see out of a college team. So I'm going to take TCU here.
All right, ACC battle, NC State at Virginia. Now, Virginia's record 8-5 may not seem like they had a good year, but they won the ACC championship because, remember, it was weird. Miami got in the playoff. Obviously, they made the national championship, but Miami snuck in the playoff even though they didn't even make the ACC championship game.
Yeah.
That was a weird year. Virginia beat Duke in that game. Virginia's -5.5. Give me the Cavs.
Penn State's old coach is coaching at Virginia now, right? His name escaped.
I can't remember.
James Franklin?
James Franklin.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he's at Virginia now.
No kidding.
I know he has a
Virginia
job.
Tech.
Virginia Tech.
Virginia
maybe
Tech.
that's
That's
what
it.
it is.
Okay. Regardless, I was picking NC State. They always seem to do well against Virginia. They always seem to do well in the conference. They've had a little rough patch, but I think they're going to pull off the upset against the spread.
This is my lock of the week. I'm calling it right now. Lock of the week. I'm taking Virginia. The reason I'm taking Virginia, they have been dubbed by CBS as the most experienced roster in college football. Their roster.
Well, yeah, because everybody else moves around. Hell, we have
true.
players who got drafted and played in the NFL in preseason who are trying to come back.
Yeah, and they're trying to put in a
college
rule to
now.
stop
Big
that.
Ten, yeah.
Big Ten and
did
the
it.
SEC both announced yesterday they're banning it.
Oh, that's good.
But of their roster, 571 starts, 39,000 snaps for these players on this team.
True.
They have, I think, a clear advantage in this. I'm taking Virginia here.
All right, Hawaii at Stanford doesn't get better than West Coast late night football. True college football fans stay up for these 10 and 11 o'clock games. I know I do. Hawaii at Stanford. Stanford is the favorite, -4. This is my upset of the week. Give me the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors coming across the ocean into California to beat Stanford.
My big take is I wish we still had Pac-12 after dark. I mean, I know it's coming back a little bit with the Pac-12, but I mean, this used to be a quintessential one. And I think that Hawaii is always solid. They've adapted to the flights more than any other team because they do it so often. But I think Stanford's home field advantage, they're minus in the spread. I think Stanford holds on, but it's a close game.
I think Stanford wins this game. Hawaii's bringing in 17 new starters to their team. Stanford, Micah Ford, he was kind of the back to watch last year. 643 yards in 9 games that he played. I think he has a pretty good game. And good old Davis Warren at quarterback.
Oh,
for
yeah, I
Stanford.
forgot. Davis Warren. The
What did I
Buckeye
say? Did I
killer,
say
Davis Warren.
Davis Warren, I'm sorry. But yes. So I think they win. I think that I like their team a lot more. And I think the new starters is kind of a question mark. So I'm going to take Stanford.
All right, real quick, let's do this last one. Memphis at UNLV. This is late night. I think this is a Friday game. I could be mistaken. Memphis at UNLV. UNLV's -4.5. I don't know if he's a starter, but Alex Orji is one of the UNLV quarterbacks.
He's listed as a backup right now, but they could put him in there.
This is a key game because you had James Madison, and who was the other team that made the playoffs last year? That
I don't know,
was
but shout out James Madison.
No, this is a key game for one of the non-Power 4 schools to make the playoff, Memphis UNLV. I'm taking UNLV, and there will be an Alex Orji in the end zone, UNLV.
There you go.
UNLV has just been crazy in the transfer portal. There've been one school that's utilized it well. I think it's because they're in Las Vegas. They can get a lot of kids coming there because it's Las Vegas. So I'm going to take UNLV. I love Memphis, but UNLV wins this one.
Yeah, I think break out the slot machine, the turnover slot machine for UNLV. I think they get some turnovers. The big thing, I think his name is Jaden Thomas, I believe is his name.
You're not regretting the bet, are you?
No, 7 yards per carry last year. I think that their run game is just a lot better. So I'm going to take UNLV. I think their run game's better. They're going to get some turnovers. So I'm taking UNLV.
All right. We went really long with this segment.
We did.
But you know what?
There's a lot of games.
A lot of games. This was good. Thank you very much, Max. And me, you, and Matt Kibbe at Jackson on Friday.
Yeah, thanks for having me. All I can say is go Hillsdale.
Oh, yo.
My jaw just dropped again. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Maxwell Fritz. We will be back. Welcome back. Thank you, Max, for joining us. That was fantastic. That was a wonderful segment.
That was a great segment.
And you learn something new every day.
That's right.
We both know somebody named Lena.
I guess so.
All right, before we go, again, our game of the week on JTV, Western at Jackson, presented by Minuteman Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the College Chevrolet pregame show, 6:45. The sun is going to be right in our eyes in the press box, and it's going to be 118 degrees.
It's going to be hot. I'm going to be on top of the press box.
I am so sorry,
Yeah.
but you're high enough up where you might get a good wind.
I hope so. But the sun likes to go right into the camera lens up there, so I'm hoping to avoid that.
Western at Jackson, 6:45 on JTV, all the different TV providers online at jtv.tv. We have a YouTube live stream, and are we back with Facebook Live?
Yes, we are.
All right, we are live on Facebook as well. Matt Kibbe, David Rice, Max Fritz. So looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Either way, Hudson, Hanover, Western, Jackson, I'd be fine with either one. We're going to get a fantastic game.
Yeah. Everything that I said previously when we discussed this game, like I'm very excited to see where these teams end up this year, how they come out this week one and play. I think it should be fun. I think the crowd, the atmosphere, everything's going to be just up to 10 on the volume knob. What am I trying to say? It's been a long week already. But yeah,
the stadium pulse at Jackson.
Yes, exactly. The
great.
stadium pulse is going to be crazy. And just to reiterate again, highlights will be up a couple hours after the conclusion of the game. Same thing with the full game will be uploaded on the JTV Sports.
Yeah,
YouTube
so if
channel.
you're watching the station live, the game replays right after. Plus, the whole game will be on same night on YouTube. YouTube.com/JTV Sports Jackson. And subscribe to JTV Sports for
Free 99.
free 99. A hot dog at the game will even cost you more
That's
than that.
right.
So subscribe. And before we go, I had it on here. This isn't sports related, but rest in peace to Dolly Parton.
Yeah,
yesterday.
sad news. Sad news.
The best female country singer of all time.
Oh, easily.
And of course, my girl Shanae is second. Shania
Okay.
Twain. Dolly Parton's the best female country singer of all time. Just an incredible person.
Yeah.
How much she gave back to her community, how much she did for education and reading and for kids.
And has an awesome theme park. Gotta love Dollyland.
Yes, Dollywood.
Or Dollywood, sorry. Dollywood. I've been there and I didn't even know the name of it.
Oh, you've been there?
Yeah.
I have been there too. It's great.
Yeah.
So, rest in peace, Dolly Parton. So we will always love you.
Oh, what a
about
good way to end it.
So, all right, that's it. We will see you at Jackson High Friday. And for anybody from Columbia, you're welcome for all three of us picking you. I will make it out alive tomorrow. So we'll see you Friday.